Alright. Hi, everyone, and welcome to TWF Monday Night Raw, or Lone Day Night Raw. I am Tony Schiavone, here with Trini Kwan and Corey Graves. And today on Monday Night Raw, or Lone Day Night Raw, we're going to see the TWF 24/7 winnings on stake. Here today, Tony Schiavone says, a sometimes loved and hated winnings that WWE had from 29 between YL till 2022 YL. Tony Schiavone says, that's right, Trini Kwan said. The WWE did have a 24/7 winnings. It ran from 29 between YL to 2022 YL. It started with Titus O'Neil and ended with Nikki Cross, Trini Kwan said. So the TWF still has the 24/7 winnings. Trini Kwan says. Well, Corey Graves says, why some folks out there may have not liked the WWE 24/7 winnings, because in their mind they thought it was going to be the WWE hard-made winnings that was going to make its comeback. And when it wasn't the winnings that they thought they were going to get, they hated on it. But anyway, Corey Graves said, at least that's my belief to why a lot of folks didn't like it during the time that it was around. Corey Graves says, I can say that I myself, I'm a former WWE 24/7 fighter, besides being a former WWE NXT tag team fighter as well. Only 2 winnings I ever won during my time as a wrestler, Corey Graves says. Yeah, Trini Kwan said, and didn't Baron Saxon beat you for the WWE 24/7 winnings in WWE? Yeah, Trini Kwan, but then again, we don't like to bring that up, like to bring up that it was the only single winnings I ever won, and I lost it to someone else. Well, Corey Graves says, I don't like to bring that up though, but it did happen. Well, we know one thing, Tony Schiavone said, Asuka, the Kaiserin of tomorrow, is the TWF 24/7 fighter, and she sometimes feel that she hasn't gotten the on-look she believes she should have gotten for being both the WWE NXT SmackDown and Women's Heavyweight Fighter, 3-time WWE Women's Tag Team Fighter, the TWF Heavyweight Fighter, 3-time TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter, 4-time TWF Women's Tag Team Fighter, and 2-time TWF 24/7 fighter. Alright, Asuka says, I know some of you folks out there don't on-look me, and I haven't gotten any on-look for being the TWF 24/7 fighter. You see, there was a time, Asuka says, where I used to get on-look for everything I did or said. And that was a long time ago. Now I don't get any on-look anymore for that. So the way I look at it, if I don't get on-look, I'm gonna have to take the on-look. So if anyone out there wants to face me, wants to wrestle me or fight me for the TWF 24/7 winnings, by all means, let's do so. Because no one is ready for Asuka. Asuka, we've been friends for years, right? We became friends in, what was it, 25th between YL, when you came to WWE and you were in NXT? And I still had your back when you went from NXT to Raw, and when you went to SmackDown and then back to Raw. Shit. Sorry. Yeah, like you got my back now for knocking me down. Sorry. And I was the one there who said, hey, I had your back when you were the WWE NXT Women's Heavyweight Fighter, when you were the 3-time WWE Women's Tag Team Fighter, when you were the 2-time WWE Raw Women's Heavyweight Fighter, and the 1-time WWE SmackDown Women's Heavyweight Fighter. Hell, when you won the Kingly Loudness, when you won Gal in the Box. So, Asuka, I don't know why you think you're not getting any onlook. Why I don't think I'm not getting any onlook? Because I've been losing a lot more matches than I should have won. I get no onlook because I've been sitting around, and you should know the double standard that I was put on both in WWE and the TWF. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you feel that way. What, Mimi? What, Mimi? I'm sorry you feel that way, Asuka. But if you think that you want to have a match, you want to have a fight with someone, then I guess you're going to have one with me. What? Mimi, you can come upstairs if you want to. Well, this is for the TWF 24/7 winnings. First he is Ernest P. Worrell, and she is the TWF 24/7 fighter, Asuka. Well, it seems that Asuka feels she is still not getting that onlook, and Ernest P. Worrell doesn't, want to have a match with her. But Ernest P. Worrell is saying not going to do it because they're friends. Hey! Oh! And Asuka going right after what she said her friend Ernest P. Worrell, Tony Schiavone says. Yeah, Trini Kwan said, if that's true, then she isn't a friend of him anymore. Oh! And we all know Ernest P. Worrell may have had some background in wrestling and some background in football, Tony Schiavone said, but this isn't right. He's a street follower. He hasn't wrestled many years, Trini Kwan said. Hey, Asuka's gonna beat up her former good friend, Corey Graves said. This is gonna be great. Wonderful watching Asuka beat up Ernest P. Worrell. Hey, how can you say that, Trini Kwan says. How can you say that? You should know that Ernest stuck up for you too and said bring you to the WWE and bring you to the TWF when no one wanted you around. Oh, it's over. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner and still the TWF 24/7 fighter, Asuka. And very shameful deed right now shown by Asuka, beating up on who she said her friend was, going back to 25th Between, while Tony Schiavone says, and Asuka completely beat up on her, well, I guess we'd say former friend Ernest P. Worrell, Tony Schiavone said. That's sad. Yes, it is, Trini Kwan said. It's sad that Asuka has now shifted heel and shifted on anyone who was either her friend, had her back, or believed in her in the past. Why? Because Asuka doesn't think she's getting the onlook, Trini Kwan said. Well, I don't think it was going to be giving her onlook now. For that kind of behavior, that stand, that mindset. I tell you one thing, Corey Graves says. why don't you go tell Asuka she isn't gonna? Why don't you go tell Asuka that she isn't going to get any onlook from you, and see how far and see what she does to you? Corey Graves says. Trini Kwan, even with your skilled background as a fighter and all, I don't even think you would be very long in the ring. Corey Graves says. Just to let you know, Trini Kwan says, the fighting skill or craft that one learns is for self shielding only, and you only would fight someone if they didn't give you the choose to do so. At the end of the day, you talk it out. You don't fight anyone. Trini Kwan said. Well, what about you, Tony Schiavone? You gonna go tell Asuka she isn't gonna get no onlook? Corey Graves says. Well, I can tell you one thing, Tony Schiavone said. Asuka isn't gonna get no onlook from the TWF followership. She isn't gonna get no onlook from anyone who's backed her up for years. She isn't gonna get any onlook from any of her followers if she still has any followers. And if she thinks she's gonna get onlook for this kind of behavior, Corey Graves, I don't think that's gonna happen. Well, Renee Young now is now going to be talking with Ernest P. Worrell now, Tony Schiavone says. Alright, Tony Schiavone, I'm going to be talking with Ernest P. Worrell now. Alright, Ernest P. Worrell, we know we haven't seen you... We know we haven't seen you lately. We know you've been a street follower of the TWF for some time again, and you haven't been wrestling and fighting. Do you know what happened to Asuka? Why did she do what she did? I don't know, Ernest P. Worrell said. I always thought me and Asuka were good friends. Yeah, like I said, I've been friends with Asuka since 25th Between YL, when she came to WWE, and at the end of 26 Between YL, when she came to the TWF. I don't know what happened to that woman that I once called a friend. I don't know why she believes she's not getting any onlook from anyone. Renee Young, I don't know if someone has told Asuka she isn't getting any onlook. I don't know why she believes it, but it's sad. I mean, if Asuka thinks by being a heel, by being a bully or a creep, it's going to give her onlook that she thinks she is not getting, it's not going to happen. You know, I didn't want to, I want to go out there and talk with her. I didn't think I was going to be in a match with her. Well, we know, Ernest P. Worrell, that we always want to look at good in folks. We want to see good in everyone, even if they don't see good in themselves. And I think something has happened to Asuka. I think the matches that she lost over the years, the matches and the folks and the bind she's been in over the years, both in WWE and the TWF, I think that may have gotten to her. But I don't think that's the forgiveness for her new stand, or her new mindset, or her behavior, or her deeds. No, Renee Young, I don't think they are. And I just hope that one day Asuka can look herself in a looking glass, and I can hope that she can like what she sees. And I hope that there's still that Asuka in there somewhere. The Asuka I once called a friend. And I hope that Asuka comes back one day. But until then, all we can do is just put it in God's hands, Jesus' hands, and it'll be what it's going to be. Well, that's my talk with Ernest P. Worrell. Back to you, Tony Schiavone. Well, thank you, Renee Young, for talking with Ernest P. Worrell here today on Monday Night Raw, or Alone Tonight Raw. And that's all the time we got here for Alone Tonight Raw, or Monday Night Raw, or Alone Tonight Raw. I am Tony Schiavone for Trini Kwan and Corey Graves. We hope you like Monday Night Raw, or Alone Tonight Raw, and we'll see you tomorrow for NXT.